Alright, so we're going to do the walkthrough now of the Dragon's Lair game that came out in the 80s. This is actually one of my favorite games. I spent hours in the arcade and tons of money trying to get through this game. This was probably the most innovative game out at the time because it was cartoon based. Most of the graphics of the games at the time were these two-dimensional, left-to-right scrolling games. Games like Pac-Man and Centipede. So when this game came out, there was just a huge wow factor. The game itself actually isn't really that complicated. You're just, looking for the cues, like the flashing lights, and then moving the joystick in that direction, or hitting the sword button when needed. And each level, it never changed. So once you had the movements memorized, they weren't any different. So you could just work your way through each level. Unfortunately, you only had your normal, I think those 5 lives at the time. If you lost those 5 lives, you had to put another quarter or 50 cents into the game and start over again. So it actually took a while to get to the point where you could memorize each of the levels. Also, as you go through the game, the levels repeat, but they mirror. So instead of things happening to the right, they now happen to the left. So working your way through the game that way, it's a different experience. The whole premise of the game is you're trying to rescue Princess Daphne from the dragon. And again, you're being chased by all these different creatures and all these different levels. And, this particular level, you're trying to follow the pot of gold. And, you get your sword and try and use all the cues you can to know what you need to do at each stage. It took me quite a while to learn all the different moves and all the different times when you have to hit the sword button, left, right, forward, backward, and whatnot. There was another game that came out at the same time called Space Ace, which was very similar. I may do a review of that game in the future. And I believe there's also a sequel to this game, Dragon's Lair 2. But I've never actually played that particular game. This is one of the harder levels because it's tough to tell which way you have to go, left or right. This game was actually produced by Don Bluth, who has made such animated movies like An American Tail and several others. As impressive as this game was at the time, when you actually watch it now, all it is just a sequence of clips that are kind of very poorly pieced together into some sort of a storyline, and really the storyline isn't really there at all. I think if it was to be done again now, it would flow a lot better, and you'd probably have a lot better continuity through the storyline and whatnot. Maybe even add some variability to the levels that would add a bit of complexity to it. But I remember as a kid being told not to waste my money on this game because it was so hard. It was a pretty difficult game at the time, again, because you had to memorize all the different moves at each level, and you know, if you got it wrong, you had to start over. Again, you can see how the levels are repeating. And we should be getting pretty close to the last few scenes in the game. Certain scenes pop up as you get closer to the end where the dragon is, and I believe we're getting pretty close now. So when you get to this point, you don't want to make any mistakes, because that'll send you right back to the beginning.
Please save me! The cage is locked with a key. The dragon keeps it around his neck. To slay the dragon, use the magic sword. Ah.